I'm a corporate recruiter and I review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a full stack software developer. And I want to let everybody know I do more than tech resumes here, but right now the tech market is garbage. So most of the resumes sent to me are tech. So for a full stack software developer, what we need is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. I'm going to look in the camera. I want you to know this. I don't care if React or Next.js implies you know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I don't care how basic that is. If you do not have HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in your resume, you will not get moved forward. That is that critical. Is it basic? Yes. Does everybody have it? No. Shockingly, somehow no. So you need that in your resume. So TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. Then React or React.js, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, SQL or NoSQL, RESTful API or REST APIs, any of the clouds. If you do GCP, you need to put a Google Cloud Platform and then parentheses GCP. CI/CD, Git, .NET or Python or Java, although you can replace TypeScript with some of those. It's preferable to have both. And bonus points for AI and all that other stuff. So this person has a truly bad resume. It is takes them over 150 applications to get a single interview. That is how you know if your resume is good or garbage, is how many applications it takes to get an interview. And after people follow my advice, they get one interview per 7 applications. That is the average. But this person is really bad because it's 1 in 50, 150 to 1. But I will say, if you're getting 50 applications to one interview, that's actually not a bad ratio. Your goal should be anything under 50, but this is way more. So let's see what we can find and what is wrong. So I need 75% of these in qualification format, not keyword format, qualification format. So 20 seconds on the clock. That's all the time recruiters have, and go. Okay. Degree, good. Managed classrooms. This is not related. Built a Python, okay, with a JavaScript front end. Okay, good. But I don't really care about that. RESTful API is good, but the rest of it I don't. This doesn't really matter. You already mentioned this, so this doesn't matter. And time. So yeah, this is a bad resume. Also, this formatting is horrendous, but let's see. I'm a new grad, August 2025. I've sent in around 100 to 150 applications with no interviews, been reformatting the resume with no new real results, and hoping to try and break through. Yeah, so having got a lot of new grads jobs, this resume is not good. This formatting is bad. So formatting should look like this. This is what your resume should look like. This is how you do it. The link is below. But a bigger issue than just the bullet point, than the formatting, is the reason and result of you doing what you did. So as I said earlier, recruiters are not keyword hunting. We are qualification hunting. And a keyword, to let everybody know, is this. It's what the hiring team needs, right? If they need cloud, okay. If they need AWS, that's a keyword. If they need TypeScript, that's a keyword. So we're not hunting for that, though, right? Recruiters that hunt for that, they don't last as recruiters for very long. What we are hunting for is qualifications. And a qualification is a keyword plus how you used it, plus the business reason you used it, plus where you used it. If it's not those 4 things, it does not count. So the problem with this is, I don't know if people can hear this. My dog is dreaming in the background, so if you hear some woofs in the background, that's him. The problem with this is, first off, this is not related at all to anything I want. Why do I care that you are a substitute teacher? The answer is I don't. Is it good that you are? Yeah, it is, but it's not relevant to what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this stuff. So this doesn't matter. Then we go down to IT intern. Cool. First off, stop bolding everything. My goodness. Second off, your first sentence actually starts relatively well. Built a Python, Flask is not something we're looking for, web application with JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, okay. 2, upload and visualize robot framework tests, which, again, what was the purpose of reducing manual setup time, right? I need a little bit more about what you did. And then down here, implemented RESTful APIs, good. Python, you already mentioned Python. The problem is you don't want to mention it twice. So how this works is mentioning Python here, good. Mentioning Python here, bad. Mentioning Python, do you not even do it down here? Oh yeah, you don't even do it. Great. Mentioning Python down here, good. So you want to put it in for each job you've had, but not twice in the same job. So that is part of the problem with this. Because again, none of this is really related. And then built dynamic, again, you already mentioned that. You don't need to mention it again. API, again, don't need to mention it again. And this, the only thing I need is Git. So all you've told me is you've done Python, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, good. RESTful APIs, and Git. And if you noticed, I need 75% of these to move you forward, and that is not enough. So then we go down to these projects, which JavaScript good, Node.js good, Express, SQL good. It's just, again, it's so hard to read. Like, stop putting your keywords here. I don't know why people always put their keywords here. I need to see how you use them. This does not count. So I'm going to need you to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to need you to delete this, and I'm going to need you to start again with a format that looks like this. And then I want very clear bullet points of what you did, which I actually think your first sentence is almost good, right? And I need you to say what you did, how you did it, and the business reason you did it that is not a percentage or a number. So if you do all of that, you should be getting, I don't know if you're ever going to get as an entry-level new grad a 1 in 7, but you can probably get a 1 in 15 at a minimum. So fix it, make it based on this stuff, and if it's not this stuff, it does not matter. It doesn't matter that you were a teacher. It doesn't matter that you used a resume creation with real-time documents, right? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you designed modular. All that matters is this stuff, how you used it, and the business results. So that's all I can do for this resume. And I just want to thank you all for watching, liking, and commenting, and subscribing, and hitting the bell and all that. It really helps me out. So thank you very much. The algorithm is a fickle beast. But if you ever need more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on both YouTube and Twitch at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. That is where I get these keywords, and I help people little bit more than I can on the YouTube. So yeah, and before we go on to the next one, I just want to thank my subscribers and members. Thank you very much for supporting me. If you want to be a member, you can join in the link below. You get access to videos a little bit early, but to all of my members, thank you very much for supporting me. I really do appreciate it, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a data analyst. Technically, that's a data analyst in healthcare, so as long as I see a little bit of healthcare, and I think it's HIPAA and H17, those are going to be the keywords. Everything else is going to be the same as this list. So just replace industry with H17 and I think maybe like HIPAA or something. So we need degree, industry, SQL, data visualization, Tableau, Power BI, Looker, influencing stakeholders and explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. How you solved a problem with data, not what the data is. That is what everybody makes a mistake on. Is, again, I don't care what the data is. I don't care that you did a Monte Carlo flip-flop and you flipped the polarity. All I care about is that you told me why the color red sells more than the color blue. MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, Word, ETL, Python, R, multiple projects and deadlines. I need to remove R. I don't think anybody wants R anymore. I gotta double check the R. Everything else should be good. So, this resume, is it good or bad? The answer to that is unknown. So yeah, let's see how good or bad this is, and then I'll read what the note that they left me. So, 20 seconds is on the clock. All right, HL7, not H17. That's the word. It's something H7. Y'all know what it is if you're in the healthcare thing. All right, so 20 seconds on the clock and go. Okay, good. Okay, good. Build Python ETL. Okay, Predator, Client CRM. Okay, this is not related. Develop SQL database queries, operating costs. That's not related. Use Excel and SQL to validate clinical records, enabling, okay. Time. Yeah, you don't have good bullet points. So, let me read what you wrote. I haven't landed an interview with 66 applications. It's not big enough sample size. Actually, you need to pump those numbers up. You should be applying to 50 applications a week. I'm looking for data analyst roles in clinical healthcare or health tech. You roasted my resume real bad last time, so I took your feedback, many changes. I know the odds are against me since I'm trying to move. My most recent work experience has been part freelance. My work experience is across many job functions, so I struggle with showing a clear progression and story. You don't need to tell a story. I feel like this weird marketing lingo has shown up in resumes is you don't tell a story at a government form you handed in at the DMV. You don't tell a story with your driver's license applications. And that's how you need to think of resumes. So you don't really need to tell a story. You just need to tell me the bare bones basics of what you need. So here's what I would do. First off, if you have this sentence, relocating to New Jersey by May, perfect. I don't need this. I don't need this. You can say available sooner if needed. So again, this is right. If you're relocating, this is one of the reasons you would want it. But I do not need you to put this part. All you need to do is just say this, all right? Relocating to the New York... Oh, okay, I was too overzealous. Relocating to the New York, New Jersey area by May 2026. Available sooner if needed. That's all you need to put. And because you have done that, then it does not matter where you previously lived. So all you need to say is U.S. citizen and then relocating to X and Y. Okay, then we go down here, and my problem with this is build Python ETL pipelines. Okay, that's good. That's the first one, right? I need ETL. I can take that off. I need Python. I can take that off. Where did Python go? And R. For healthcare, okay, good. Industry. Regulatory reporting and provider validation for client CRM enabling. This is where you get too technical. And again, you also don't get technical enough. Like, I need more. Did you just build a pipeline? Was that it? Did you influence stakeholders? Did you solve any other problems? Did you use Excel? I don't know. Developed a SQL database. That the rest of this I don't really care about. So my problem here is your most relevant experience, which, to clarify, you've been there for a good amount of time. Like the previous people, they've been there for like 2 months. But you should put like 3 to 6 bullet points here because you've been there since July of 2024. We're almost approaching 2 years on that one. But that's all I have is Python, ETL, and SQL. I don't see influencing stakeholders. I don't see how you solved a problem with data. I don't see MS Excel. I don't see Word. I don't see projects and deadlines. I did see industry. I don't see data visualization. And then we go down to here, and it's used Excel and SQL. Okay, good. To validate. Why do I care that you validated? What you're not a valet. I'm not here for you to validate my parking. I'm not here for you to validate clinical records. I just want you to say used Excel and SQL to create a Power BI dashboard that let leadership make decisions. But again, that's still not explaining or influencing. I want to clarify because everybody thinks influencing and explaining technical concepts are the dashboard. No, the dashboard is different than those. Those are 3 separate things. I need to see how you convince them, not the tool you made. You convince them how you did it, not the tool. I understand you made the tool, but that's still led and coordinated evaluations of apartments. Yeah, again, this is a hot dog, which I don't know if I actually haven't gotten over that in this video. So, I want you to imagine that you're hungry and you go to a restaurant and you're like, I want a cheeseburger with pickles and onions. And they say, cheeseburger, pickles, onions. You say, yes, cheeseburger, pickles, and onions. That's all I want. And they say, okay, boss, here you go. And they go back to the kitchen and they bring you back a hot dog. And you're like, I wanted a cheeseburger with pickles and onions. They say, well, this hot dog has cheese like a cheeseburger. This hot dog has meat like a cheeseburger. This hot dog has buns like a cheeseburger. This hot dog has pickles and onions just like what you wanted. So thus, based on what you have said, this is what you wanted. And you would look at them like they were insane and you would walk away without paying because that is not what you ordered. And that is the exact problem here is recruiters are looking for hamburgers, not hot dogs. And as an example, led and coordinated equipment evaluation and deployment projects across multiple hospital departments and increased case volumes for surgery and imagining procedures while reducing system down points. None of that is related to what I'm looking for. That's a complete hot dog, not a hamburger. I need hamburgers. Used Excel and SQL, hamburger. To support Power BI dashboards, hamburgers, written a little poorly, but it's still a hamburger. Engage stakeholders on newly implemented incident data practice. What do you mean engaged? Did you marry them? I don't know. You didn't tell me. What do you mean by engaged stakeholders? That means nothing. It's I'm not saying this is AI generated, but this is like the problem with a lot of AI resumes is they don't give you the context. And what do you mean engaged? I don't know. You didn't tell me. What do you mean? Why did you deliver presentations? Was that you explaining complex topics? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Like the problem I have with this is you are trying to tell me some weird story when I don't need that. I just need the hamburger. You're giving me hot dogs. All I'm looking for are these hamburgers, and you're giving me so many hot dogs, and you're like, well, why am I not getting a job? It's because you're giving me hot dogs. I'm saying I want a cheeseburger with pickles and onions, and you are giving me a hot dog with pickles and onions and cheese. This is the problem with this resume. Formatting wise, mostly good. I don't really have any complaints on that. But again, the formatting is 30% of your grade. The 70% is the bullet points, and these bullet points are not good. So we really need to do that. We need to fix them up and have them be related. Next resume. This is a resume of a back-end Java developer. Well, technically it's Java developer with a little bit of full stack, but we're focusing more on the Java. So what we need for a back-end Java developer is Java, Spring, Spring Boot, Maven, SDLC, SQL, RESTful API or REST API, microservices, CI/CD, object-oriented programming, OOP, Git, Linux, Unix, Agile, Scrum, Cloud. Any of them is fine. You just have to mention GCP if it's GCP. Architecting or systems work, Hibernate, Docker, Kafka, and rarer but nice to have is full stack. But if you notice, this full stack is JavaScript, React, Angular, and Vue, which is different than HTML, CSS that you need for a full stack role. So you can see that even though this requires full stack, its full stack is different than a full stack's full stack because the job market is weird. So, is this a good or a bad resume? They say they get a 1 in 75, which is not terrible. Like, it's not good, but it's not garbage, right? Like, that's definitely salvageable. So, let's see what they get and what they are missing, which is I'm expecting them to miss a little bit of stuff, but not a ton. So, 20 seconds on the clock, and go. Okay. This doesn't matter. Education, good. Built Java, Spring Boot, microservices, good. Don't care about this. Kafka, good. Don't care about this. Prevented array, okay, doesn't matter. Transaction, doesn't matter. This is okay. And time. My guy or gal, this is a nightmare to read. Brevity is what you want. Okay, so you actually started off really strong. Built Java Spring Boot microservices. Stop bolding them, but built it. Good. For an event-driven payment ledger. Cool. And then the rest of this is garbage. But using Kafka streams and Postgres transactions. And then I want to know why you did it. So a little bit more of description. Also, please, nothing here should be bolded. There is a reason the only things bolded is this, and this. All right? If it's not there, it shouldn't be bolded. Otherwise, you're making it harder to read. So your bolding is a nightmare. The summary is irrelevant. There's nothing here that I actually really need to care about. This is probably not relevant. And then we go down here. Don't tell me the tech. You have to show me. You cannot just tell me. You have to show me. This just makes it so much harder to read. Oh my gosh. Like, you actually have okay bullet points, but you're like ruining them with all this junk in the way. So what do I have? I have the first line. Spring Boot, great. Spring Boot. Microservices, great. Kafka I have, which is good, and PostgreSQL, SQL was somewhere, but you did have it. So, but then like, this is not related, this is not related. Python is nice to have. You already mentioned Kafka here. So the rest of this is mostly not, except for Auth2, and then whatever JW2 is. It's like Java or whatever. I don't know. It's not related. Then developed, optimized Redis. Am I even looking for Redis? I'm not looking for Redis. Redis doesn't matter. So again, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. So you basically only have one okay sentence and then nothing else. And then down here, again, this is good to mention Kafka here because this is the first time you mentioned it in this job. And then nothing here matters. Again, do I really even care about ETL? I don't. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Amazon. You said S3. You just tell me AWS. I'm not even looking for S3. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Okay, so you have spent most of this resume talking about hot dogs, and the one sentence that is actually helping you is the first one. The first one is pretty good, right? Built Java Spring Boot microservices, perfection, for an event-driven payment ledger handling. Okay, cool. And then I using Kafka streams, perfect. And then the rest of it is kind of junk. So, like, you're... Am I missing something? I know it's internship, but, like, yeah, like, your big issue here is you're missing this stuff. Like, you talked everything around it. You're saying, oh, auth2 clearly implies X, or because I have Node.js, it means I know JavaScript, or because I said X, it means Kubernetes, or Agile, or Scrum. Because I said S3, it means AWS. No, it doesn't. You have to be specific. If it's not mentioned directly in your resume, in the bullet points, it doesn't count. So I need you to go back and fix it, right? So A, fix your formatting, because this is a nightmare. B, add stuff that is actually relevant, and stop talking about these 12.8 millisecond latency under. Nobody knows what that is. Nobody knows what that is. Nobody cares. When you're doing your job, I'm sure they will love to talk about it, but the hiring manager does not care. Next resume. This is a resume of a data analyst, and they say they get a 1 in... What did they say? I literally just had this up. They get a 1 in... For every 100 applications, they get 3 interviews, which is not bad. They said they did implement my feedback from last time, which I believe is why they're getting some of that. But I request you to be very harsh on the CV so I can get even more, aiming for 1 interview per 7 applications. So just letting everybody know, these are the US keywords that I'm using. There are some slight differences outside the US, but I still have gotten people jobs in Canada, Mexico, the EU, UK, and I think Singapore and Africa so far. So my advice is global. With the exception of, I think, the Netherlands. I don't know if it actually works in the Netherlands. That might actually be the one place it doesn't work. So let's see what they have and what they don't have. We already have 20 seconds on the clock. Let's take a look and go. Okay, formatting is a little off, but not by much. Analytics engineer, improved data accuracy. Okay, nothing. SQL, serve to the primary for line markets. That's actually really good. Supervise 200-led communication, manage delivery expectations. Okay, good. Engineer the shift from reporting design. Okay. Achieved, don't care. All right, and time. So you're overthinking these bullet points. I actually like what you have in some of these. When I saw this, I was like, oh no, this is going to be terrible. Now I'm like, no, I understand why you're getting a 3 out of 100. So first off, fix your formatting. Formatting should look like this. This is different. There's very, very minor. Remember, they wanted me to be very nitpicky. There should not be this big of a gap between these. Should not be this big of a gap between this. And this is the wrong font, I'm fairly certain. And this might be as well. So your font is slightly off. But a bigger problem is the bullet points. You have buried good bullet points inside garbage. So this resume is a mountain of hot dogs with some very good hamburgers in between those hot dogs. That was a terrible metaphor. But yeah, so like improve data accuracy by models by implementing it. This means nothing, right? Like the only thing that I have here that I like is SQL. The rest of this is irrelevant. And I don't even know what you did. So what I would have liked you to do is combined this and this together. So instead of served as the primary data liaison for client leadership across 9 international markets, responding to regular ad hoc reporting from internal stakeholder to support, I want you to say, was the data liaison for leadership across international markets for stakeholders by using, and then I want you to put this in, right? So in fact, we could even, I have to really think about this because this is so wordy. Like, used SQL and ETL to serve as the primary, like, this is my problem on how to kind of review this, is you almost have what I need, but it's buried under so much. So I'm going to need you to redo this. And I don't know if I can actually think of a good way to write this because it's so weird, but like, this is so much information that's not relevant. Like, served as a data I can't even say that. So was the market, like, how do I even rewrite this for you? This is so chaotic. Okay, here we go. Was the okay, I need this to be redone, and I want you to say something like, was the data I cannot say it. The data bro for leadership, internal/external stakeholders in parentheses across international markets by supporting their decisions using X and Y. Like, I need a little bit more. Supervised 2 engineers and led client meetings to communicate timeline estimates and manage delivery, ensuring this is actually really good because this shows you can speak to non-technical people. So I really like this. In fact, if anything, I think this might want to be your first bullet point. You just need to add a little bit of stuff to it. Like, it's just, there's so much words in this. Engineered the shift from reactive troubleshooting, reporting, analysis, just so much. When you could have just said, designed a Power BI dashboard with Python to detect flag pricing inconsistencies and missing data so our stakeholders can make informed decisions. Achieved, again, I don't really care about this, developed an ETL pipeline using Panda. Like, again, you focus so much on BigQuery, I don't think they really care. To validate, exporting, again, like most of this, just developed an ETL pipeline using Pandas and Excel. In fact, developed an ETL pipeline using Excel in Pandas to whatever you said down below. I was overzealous for, I don't even know. So you use too big word too much. I need you to less word. The less word, the better. Remember, the people reading this have 20 seconds and they cannot dig that far down. So you have the core of what I want here. Like, you do kind of tell me the how, the why, but like, you've only been, oh my gosh, you've only been there for a year. I didn't even notice that, because why do you have this much for a year? You should have 4 bullet points maximum. 4 bullet points maximum, and they need to be this stuff. And then we go down here, again, formatting slightly off. This is 5 months. Okay, contract, at least you state. Contract, yeah, like, this is so much word. Why so much word for so little experience? Like, I know you're competent, but, like, you can't show competence in a resume. It's like a big misconception is people try to show how good they are and you just kind of can't. So I'm going to need you to simplify it for the people that can't turn on the emails. But this is overall too many numbers, too many big words, and too many words in general, even though there is a core of stuff that I want. Because, like, created a SQL created a Power BI data visualization for our stakeholders to explain complex sales data to ensure they could make the right sales decisions is a complete sentence. And that's better than anything you wrote. So stop with all word. Next resume. This is a resume of a staff accountant So what we need for a staff accountant is degree. You don't need a CPA, but if you have a CPA, that is like a golden ticket. So I am including it there, but you can get a job without it. Microsoft Office, Excel, Outlook, etc. Manage multiple active projects and deadlines. GAP, which is generalized accounting, generally accepted accounting principles. I always forget that. Attention to detail, communication, verbal and written, and nice to have is general ledger systems such as Oracle Fusion. So that is all we need. It's not that much. Let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. They did not leave me a note, and they have an unknown ratio, so we do not know. So 20 seconds on the clock, and go. Okay, formatting is a little bit long here, but analyze financial statements using advanced Excel. Okay, good. And Microsoft Office, transaction, root, general ledger. Okay, perfect. Use generally accepting principles. You're going to detect and resolve issues. Ensure accurate financial statements while changing compliance with accounting standards. Okay. Monitor and account activities, find discrepancies. Perfect. All right, and time. I think this works. My only thing is I wish I got... So I want a teeny bit more here. Let's see. Analyze financial statements using... No, I think this is good. I actually like this. There's a slight formatting issue. This should not be that line there. Because, like, if you notice, this goes immediately into it. And again, this is slightly too big of a line, slightly too big of a line, slightly too big of a line. Very minor issues. Also, I don't know why you have these arrows up here instead of just dashes, because it should just look like this. But is there anything here I'm missing? Monitored account activity imbalances with strong... See, I don't like the fact that you have to say strong attention to detail. Balances to identify... See, I think actually this is one of the few things that is implied. You know, monitored account activity imbalances to identify discrepancies and communicate insights to improve data quality, support accurate account reconciliation. I don't know if I need data quality, but I do care about account reconciliation. The other thing is I'd like a little bit more of a descriptor of what you do, because I'm a little, like, I guess as an audit, like even if you said to identify supporting audit financial records or something. But otherwise, this is good. I am a little bit missing the, let's see, is there anything I'm actually missing? I'm missing the multiple projects. Again, this slight error here. Missing multiple projects, and that's kind of it. Otherwise, good job. I actually really like this resume. So, yeah, I'm marking this good in the sheet. I like it. Good job. So that's all I can do for this resume, and that's all I can do for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. It really helps me out. And to all my members, I just want to thank you. You get access to videos a little bit early. You can join in the link below, but thank you so much for supporting this channel. It means an awful lot to me. Thank you. And if anybody needs any more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter and YouTube. That is where I get this stuff. That is where I help people out with other questions and comments and concerns they have. That is like my office hours to help y'all. So with that being said, I will see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search. Later, y'all.